Wrestler and past Ms. Wrestler of the Year award. Also up here today, off to the side here, will be Jeff Stearns from Fareway. And I do believe that we want Mr. Gable up here as well, correct, as we pass these awards out. So, Dan Gable, if you could come up here. I don't like telling him what to do, ever. That was a request, not a demand, sir. We will start with ladies today. And again, as we mention your name and say a little bit about your bio, we'll have you step over on this side with Mr. Stearns, and then we will present the award winners today. Our first finalist today, from Decorah, Naomi Simon. Simon finished off her career with a historic 4th state title. She won 2 IWCOA state championships prior to the IGSAU sanctioning girls wrestling. At this year's state tournament, she recorded 4 falls on the way to the finals, where she finished on top of her bracket by earning a 15-2 major decision in the finals. Prior to her finals match, Simon had recorded an impressive 44 straight pins on the year. She also was a USA Wrestling preseason's national champion, a Fargo freestyle national champion, and is ranked number 3 in the country at 170 pounds. She was a finalist for the Ms. Wrestler Award in 2023 and is committed to wrestle at the University of Iowa next season. Molly Allen from Riverside, Oakland. Allen recently wrapped up an undefeated junior season that resulted in her winning her 2nd IGHSAU state title. Allen's run to gold medal included 3 falls, 2 major decisions. This season, she recorded 23 falls, 3 technical falls, and 2 decisions. Prior to the IGHSAU sanctioning girls wrestling, Allen was a state champion at the IWCOA state championships, making her a 3-time Iowa state champion. Next year, she will go for her 4th title. Allen also boasts winning a Super 32 title, a Fargo freestyle national title, and is currently number 1 ranked high school wrestler at 125 pounds. Allen is also was a finalist for the Ms. Wrestler Award in 2023. Her brother Blake is a finalist for the 1A award this year. And rounding out the top 3 here today, Rihanna Utterbach, Sigourney Kyoto. Utterbach finishes her junior season with an impressive 49-0 record, won her first ever IGHSAU state title. In those 49 matches, she recorded 5 technical falls and 44 falls, including 5 of those falls coming during her state title run. As a sophomore, Utterbach qualified and placed at the boys' state tournament, earning an 8th place finish at 106 pounds, making her the 2nd girl female wrestler ever to place at the tournament. As a freshman, Utterbach qualified for the boys' state tournament and was an IWCOA state champion. She is currently ranked 14th nationally at 115 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, your Ms. Wrestler of the Year Awards finalists. This year's Ms. Wrestler of the Year Award winner, Naomi Simon of Decorah. And as you get these awards today, if you want to turn and take a picture here with Dan Gable. And then your finalist runners-up this year, Molly Allen and Rihanna Utterbach. Congratulations, ladies. Moving on to the boys today, we start with Class 1A, again in no particular order as we bring you up here. We start with Blake Allen from Underwood. Allen completed his senior season with an undefeated record that resulted in him winning his 2nd Iowa high school title. His run to the championship included wins over the number 12, number 4, number 7, and number 3 ranked wrestlers in succession. He ends his career with 3 state medals, earning a 4th place finish as a sophomore. He also continues a streak of 3 straight years where an Underwood wrestler has been named a finalist for this award. Allen's sister Molly, who we just met, was a finalist for the Dan Gable Ms. Wrestler of the Year award as well. And I'm guessing you two probably go back and forth at home a little bit. Runs in the family. Your next finalist in Class 1A, Kyler Knack from Don Bosco. Knack finished his junior season a perfect 28-0, and for a second straight season, he ended with a state title. His finals opponent was a repeat of the 2023 finals, and once again, he proved victorious with a 3-2 decision. It was a heck of a match. His junior season also included his team Don Bosco winning both the dual and traditional team titles. He's now a member of a state history in being a member of a team that has won the most consecutive tournament titles in a row, with Don Bosco now having won 6 straight championships. He is the first Don Bosco wrestler to be named a finalist for this award since current assistant coach at Don Bosco, Gable Fox, was named in 2018, and he is already committed to be a Panther at the University of Northern Iowa. Up next, Mason Knipp, Columbus Catholic. Columbus Catholic's Mason Knipp ended his high school career a 2-time state champion. After not qualifying as a freshman and sophomore, he made the most of his 2 state appearances, going undefeated. His run to his title included wins over the number 4, number 5, and number 8 ranked wrestlers in his weight class. He is the second wrestler from Columbus Catholic to be named a finalist for the Dan Gable Mr. Wrestler of the Year award. He is committed to play football next year at the University of Iowa. Your first runner-up, finalist today that we'll announce, Blake Allen from Underwood. Next runner-up, Mason Knipp, Columbus Catholic. And this year's Mr. Wrestler of the Year award winner, Kyler Knack from Don Bosco. Congratulations to our Class 1A wrestlers today. Class 2A. Your 3 finalists, again in no particular order as we bring you up. Anders Kittleson from Osage. Kittleson ends his career with an undefeated record and winning his first individual state title. Prior to this year, he had reached the finals on 2 other occasions as a freshman and a junior, and also finished 4th as a junior. His team finished winning the traditional team title for the 2nd straight year. His teammate, Tucker Stangl, is also a finalist for the award, and is the 2nd straight year an Osage wrestler has been a finalist for this award. Kittleson is committed to wrestle for the Air Force Academy next year. Your next finalist, Austin Scranton, Anamosa. Scranton competed his junior season a perfect 49-0 and earned his first ever state title at 175 pounds. His path to the title included wins over the 7th, 3rd, and 2nd ranked wrestler at his weight class. Prior to this year, Scranton's highest finish at the state tournament was a 6th place medal in the 2023 tournament. He is the first finalist for the Dan Gable Mr. Wrestler of the Year award from Anamosa. And your 3rd finalist today, again also from Osage, is Tucker Stangl. Stangl finished his senior year with a perfect 54-0 record, pinning the number 4 ranked wrestler, and then went on to a 2-1 win over the 2nd ranked wrestler to win his 2nd straight title. This is the 4th time that he has earned a top 4 finish at the state tournament, placing 4th, 3rd, followed by back-to-back seasons atop the podium. His team finished with a traditional team title for the 2nd straight year. His teammate, as you just heard, Anders Kittleson, is also the finalist for this award this year, and is the 2nd straight year an Osage wrestler has been a finalist for this award. Indeed, there is something in the water still in Osage. Your first runner-up finalist today, Austin Scranton from Anamosa. Second runner-up finalist for the award this year, Anders Kittleson from Osage. And the 2024 Class 2A Mr. Dan Gable Wrestler of the Year Award, Tucker Stangl from Osage. Congratulations. Moving on to Class 3A, in no particular order. First up from Fort Dodge, Drayshawn Ross. Ross ends his sophomore campaign with a second straight title and perhaps the most dominating performance among any individual champion. I said this at the tournament, I don't know if Mr. Ross broke a sweat. It was pretty impressive to watch. He pinned his way through the 215-pound bracket and wrestled only 6 minutes, 39 seconds for his second title. He was the only champion to accomplish the feat of pinning his way through the entire tournament. He joins former award winners Brody Teskey and Drake Ayala as the wrestlers from Fort Dodge to be named a finalist for the award. He also matches their accomplishment of being nominated as a finalist as a sophomore. Ross has already had several football scholarship offers that will soon be matched with wrestling offers once he becomes eligible for contact with college coaches. Next finalist, Cale Seaton, Iowa City, City High. Seaton ended his career by winning his second straight individual, avenging his only season loss at the state title in the finals. Seaton won his first title as a junior, took his first and only loss of the season in the district finals. He won a rematch by a score of 3-2 to finish his career on top. He ends his career having never finished lower than third at the tournament, taking third as both a freshman and sophomore. This is the third straight year that a City High wrestler has been named a finalist for the award, and his former teammate, Ben Keeter, also a 2023 award winner. Seaton is committed to wrestle for South Dakota State University next year. And your third finalist here for 3A, Kane Nackenboren, Lynn Marr. Kane ended his career with his first ever state title after placing top 5 in each of the previous 3 seasons. He finished the season with a perfect 37-0. He was 1 point away from bonusing his way through the 2024 state tournament. He picked up 2 falls, a major decision, before winning his final 9-2 over his weight's number 3 ranked wrestler. He is the first finalist from Lynn Marr, and he is committed to wrestle for Iowa State University next year, where he's going to join his brother, Tate. Congratulations to our 3A finalists this year. First runner-up for the Mr. Wrestler of the Year Award, Nate Nackenboren, Lynn Marr.
Thank you.
Second runner-up, Cale Seaton, Iowa City, City High. And your 2024 Dan Gable Mr. Wrestler of the Year in 3A, Drayshawn Ross from Fort Dodge. And for our Mr. Wrestler of the Year awards, we do have a big, nice trophy that's on its way. We did get the ladies in this year, but once that is in, we'll make sure that that gets to you so you can either keep it at your high school or wherever it is you want to display that with pride, because it certainly means a lot. Again, these awards that you were given today mean that you not only were champions this year, but you did it in a very impressive way. And I don't know if there's a better honor to cap off a season, a cherry on top, than having a name attached to Dan Gable. I had a chance to interview Dan live on WHO 13 this year at the state tournament. I was only supposed to be there one day covering the state tournament, and as soon as I got Dan live on the 4 o'clock, my producer said, "You're going back to the state tournament." And I was like, how do you top interviewing Dan Gable? You can't get any better than that. We're very honored to have Mr. Gable here today. I know this means a lot to him, and it means a lot to you families as well. And I want to recognize, too, the families of all these wrestlers. I do that every year. The long hours since they were kids, you take them to tournaments, you make sure that they're getting to where they need to be and taking care of them. So to all the parents and families out there today responsible for these young men and women, thank you for all that you've done and your commitment to them, because they wouldn't be where they are, and I think they would acknowledge that, too, without you. I'd like to welcome to the podium to share some thoughts on this award, what it means. It's never a dull moment with Mr. Dan Gable.
This is my first speech, but it won't be my last. Much appreciation on this event. It's an honor for me to have my name on an award. I mean, I wrestled a long time ago. Well, still wrestle my wife, but and I don't have many losses, but I have a few now. But then I coached a long time, did a lot of things in this sport, and then continued to put things out there to the wrestling world and to the world of whoever. And I continue to do that. And today is about helping our sport. Today is about honoring people that are special in this sport. And it's not about what took place a week ago or so, a state tournament. That was what decided the year for wrestling, whether it was a team or an individual. And that's the honor that gives you the ability to be at this extra honor here. So I always say, if you're, I'm pretty, I'm older than most probably in this room, but I'm winning awards in my lifetime for winning awards earlier in my lifetime. And that's kind of what takes place here today. But yet you're young, and there's so much in front of you that you will actually be able to accomplish, that will give you the ability to still win something after you win something. And that's valuable. That is valuable. That's impact. That means you've been doing things good in your life. And, that's kind of what I stand for, to be honest with you. And that's why I'm honored to be able to have a name associated with something that I participated in, that I loved, that I still do participate in and love. So it wasn't so much to me about who won which award today. It was more about who's here today, because they put themselves in a position to win awards off the actual field of play that they participate in, without actually having to knock heads and compete. And that's valuable. That's everlasting. And that's something that is just starting here. It's just starting. Because the future is what we're all about. It just so happens we've been a sport that's been tied down a little bit. And because of that, we need to expand. We need to grow. And with companies like Fareway, having this opportunity to do what they're doing today, that expands this opportunity to the public. That expands this opportunity worldwide, nationwide, and it gives more fame to the people that actually participate in actual events and win and dominate their sport. So I give a lot of credit to Jeff Stearns, Fareway. I work with Hy-Vee, and I know they could be mad because I mentioned Hy-Vee, but I'm not worried about that. Because I already talked to a guy on the way up from Fareway all the way up, and I kind of asked him about competition and things at that grocery level, and I feel comfortable right now mentioning the name Hy-Vee, even though it's Fareway that's doing the work right now. Just because that's what competition is all about. And if we don't have that competition, you're going to set back, and you're not going to be who you are in the future if there's no competition out there. It just so happens right now in the state of Iowa, at the collegiate level, you know, we're in like second, fourth, maybe the top 10 or 12th place at the Division I levels. I know, and we don't like it because we like number one. And when you're part of that for many years, and being a guy that grew up in Waterloo, Cedar Falls, under UNI, and then going to Iowa State, and then actually coaching at Iowa, you know, have that feeling of what it is like in Iowa across the world when you're in a sport like wrestling. Because the sport of wrestling doesn't just start and end here in this room. It goes throughout the world. And we're at a difficult time with the sport of wrestling right now in the world. But yet, because of things that we're doing, like today, like involving more females, involving hopefully more colleges, you know, we're going to move forward and not backward. It just so happens that because of grandkids in my life, I follow other sports now a little bit too. I'm expanded a little bit. And I'm surprised what I learn. But because of what I learn, it helps me for what I love. So for an example, if I'm following college baseball, D1 right now, there's 330 or 40 Division I college baseball programs, which I didn't know, as compared to 75 Division I college programs. There's a lot of room to grow there. There's a lot of effort that needs to be put out, and that's why we have these things. And that's why that we're going to need to continue to have these things in the future. Because you look at what the height is, and you look at where you're at, and you know that you have room to grow to be even bigger and better. It's a sport, though, that is able to go worldwide, and that's really good. If you're really looking to want to really be good in this sport, you go beyond just high school. You go beyond college. You go to higher levels, and that's the Olympic level. And because of that, there might be some aspirations right here, which there should be, because these are the people that are at the height of our sport here. And you have higher things to do before you even go to the Olympics. Go through college. And I'm worried a little bit about college. Why do I worry a little bit? Because I love the sport. And why am I worried? Well, you know, I don't know exactly. Time will tell. There's good things, but there's some things that need to be altered just a little bit to make them even better. It's just like your wrestling. You analyze your wrestling, because if you're going to go to a higher level, you're going to succeed at the same pace that you are here, then you're going to have to make some of those adjustments. So like for me, in our sport, you know, I look at what some of the adjustments, you know, that need to be made. I don't know exactly. I know that what's happening is that you better be on board with it. But if it isn't as good as it should be, then they better make adjustments, just like you wrestlers have to make. And so right now, it's a difficult time in the world. It's a difficult time. And because of that, I'm concerned. It could be that USA Wrestling is at the height of their glory right now. Well, why would that be? maybe the competition's down right now. And why would that be? Well, maybe we're in world conflicts right now. And some of these countries that are powerful and that really put out aren't training like they normally do because of world conflicts. And so there's a lot of things that have to be solved to be able to make this guy's dreams come true. And my dreams should be your dreams in this room for this sport. And so, for an example, do you think Putin's thinking about wrestling right now? He should be. And if you don't know who Putin is, that's good. That's good. But Russian wrestling is who dominated the world in wrestling in my lifetime and before my lifetime. Now, they may not after if things don't change. And at the NCAA, if it's about making money, it might be short-lived. If it's about performance, it can be longer-lived. So, if you're thinking about becoming instant millionaires, I think you're thinking wrong. If you're thinking about getting really good in wrestling and performing and showing that time after time after time and year after year, I'm not worried about you making money. Hell, I'm making money right here, right now in wrestling. Just sitting here. Not being paid to come here. I didn't get paid to come here. Should, but... But actually I do, because in some of these stores, you know, some places, you know, like I'm talking about, they're selling products like a nutrition drink. They even sell a celebratory drink, a beer. And I don't want you doing that. I don't even know what the age is for drinking. I do know, I think, this is my own personal thought, I'm not so sure the age should be higher to be able to drink, to be able to smoke, to be able to get married. I'm not so sure. Because sometimes we don't develop totally till we get pretty old. Because we have a lot of experience that way, and we've been around, and we know what the good decisions are. So, you know, to me, that's very valuable. And you're here for a reason. Because you're the future. That's so valuable. 1, 2, 3. See, I don't know how you can have 1, 2, 3, and then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not equal. You're not following me here, otherwise you'd have laughed a little bit. But probably in a few years I'm going to look over and it might be a little different. But I hope we don't come to that totally, because I like a little flexibility. I like a little common sense. I like a lot of performance, but I don't want to get people upset with performance. I like domination, and so do you. And so does this Fareway. There's no doubt if you don't want to dominate and you don't pay the price to dominate, you won't dominate. And if there's how to dominate, that's another thing. Strategy, techniques, tactics, that's all unbelievably valuable. I won 181 matches in a row before I really studied the sport. And then when I studied the sport, I got really good. And I didn't realize that you're going to lose because the rest of the world sometimes cheats to win. But when you realize that, that puts more ammo in your tank to make sure that it's not a close call, that you do dominate, that Fareway dominates. That when you come to a national title in an individual or a state title, there were some close matches, but there was some ones that had won. And there's always that chance. But when you have the mentality that you dominate, it's always good. But you got to understand what dominate means, and it's difficult. It's not just rolling the ball out. There's so much I learned from a loss, not just on the mat, but in life as well. So anyway, I know that, has Ironside gone already? Damn it, I was giving this for him. But he's actually leaving for a good reason, so I'm okay with that. But anyway, I'm gonna stop and just turn it back over to whoever's gonna end this. But I just want to congratulate everybody in this room. It's a step in the right direction for us for the future of our sport. And we don't want to back off on anything like this, even though it's not exactly the award that you had to wrestle today to win. But you did have to wrestle many matches to win. And I congratulate on all this group to do that. As well as Fareway being able to jump on board with a chance to put our sport more even in the spotlight. And I don't want to underestimate females, because that number of 75 for men is going to go up. It's going to go up if we get a few things straightened out. Kind of like the money thing, we got to get that straightened out, because otherwise it might not. I don't know if you understand. So I might be talking over your head a little bit too, because not everybody's going to be able to just throw money into something. And if they do, they expect rewards. And when there's not, there's no more money. So anyway, appreciate the fact that we were able to get together. Appreciate the people that got here and the awards. And every award here is valuable. And every person here is valuable. And I want to thank you for having me over here and being able to give you a little food for thought, because I can do this a lot longer than I'm doing it right now. Thank you.
Big thanks again for Dan Gable being here today. I wanted to thank the females especially. I've got 3 kids. I got my oldest son Maverick, not a wrestler. My middle child Giovanna, volleyball player, basketball player. My youngest, my 5-year-old Michaela, she decided this week she's going to be a wrestler after we looked at some of your videos. And so that's so huge that you can be role models for our future girls that want to be out and wrestle. And you know, some of you even prove that you can wrestle with the boys too, which is pretty nice. So I just want to acknowledge that it's so important that we continue to support female wrestling here in our state. It is the top, just like the boys. And for those of you that, I never performed at a level that you guys and gals did. I never got to that level. When I went to Arizona State and wrestled, I lost more matches than I won. But the funny thing is that the lessons that I learned on the wrestling mat through Iowa Central and then Arizona State, I ended up winning the National Broadcasting Championship at Arizona State my senior year. And it was kind of like, it goes back to what Dan says about, you know, once you've wrestled, everything else in life is easy. All the things that you're going to be faced with are so much more attainable and so much more, you're going to be able to get past those tough times just through all these lessons you learn through hard work and putting in the time that you have to put in to be a champion in the sport of wrestling. So this will pay you far in life beyond trophies or anything like that. So you chose the right sport to be involved with, and thanks for being ambassadors and role models for others to look up to. I also want to acknowledge IA Wrestle, Tony Hager and the team. You know, they deserve a huge round of applause. The amount of coverage that they give you guys and gals, they follow your tournaments. I'd like to just acknowledge them. Sounds like the state of Minnesota got their heads out of their rears and allowed you to go cover their state wrestling as well. But that's so important with coverage and having a good partner and giving wrestling a chance to shine, and the quality of their production is always top notch too. So, and the other big thanks is to Fareway for taking an interest in supporting this great sport. You know, every time I get together with Reynolds Kramer, all he wants to talk about is like wrestling stories. It's never anything else. He always wants to talk about wrestling. And so what a great company that continues to embrace and allow you guys and gals to continue to do what you do, whether it's here or you move somewhere else. To wrap things up today, I wanted to bring Jeff Stearns back up, Senior Vice President with Fareway, to close things out. Congratulations again to all of you, and thanks for making time to be here and to get together one more time to celebrate a great season.
All right, thanks again, everyone. Congratulations to all the wrestlers. Been around wrestling a long time, and the state tournament and the talent that continues to go to the state tournament and the state of Iowa continues to grow. So for you to even be here today is a great accomplishment with all the great wrestling we have in the state of Iowa now. To me, it keeps getting better. So congratulations to all the parents. Thank you for all you do for your athletes. Just to wrap up, again, there'll be the trophies, the finalist plaques. Everybody will give you 2 of them. One is for you, and one is for your school trophy case, along with the winner. Well, there'll be 2 big ones of those. Unfortunately, for the boys' side of it, they did not come in at the trophy place, so we only had the 1. But when they do come in, we will certainly get them to you. We'll take them to your schools and give them to you. And you know, if your school wants to do a special presentation that day when we bring it, that's great too. So again, the flowers at the table, please take those home. And then we would like all the wrestlers to come back up front. We'd like to get a great big group photo. So again, thank you, and safe travels home, and thanks for coming today.